It's been a long day of volleyball here in the Inland Empire, and we bring you match number 4 on opening day 2022 in the National Volleyball Association, as it's the Texas Tyrants, perhaps the most improved team in the NVA. And we'll be talking about their uniforms throughout this match as they take on the LA Blaze. Last 2 matches went the full 5 sets, so we only had about 20 minutes between the 3rd and 4th ones today, as this is a matchup. What is that? That is a combination of Fred Flintstone. Let's get back on those Texas uniforms. That's a combination of Fred Flintstone meets a tie-dye party from 1969. As the Tyrants, there you see the embrace at midcourt. Gianluca Grasso, one of the finest players back in the NVA, and his Texas Tyrant squad, the most improved team perhaps in the NVA, and we'll tell you more about that as this one goes on. I'm Ira Thor. I'm a little tired because every match today has decided it didn't want to go just 3 or 4. And we'll see if match number 5 has the same level of excitement. At some point, I'm going to be joined by Nick England. Hopefully between now and then he behaves, as his Las Vegas Ramblers down 2 sets to none, bounce back and won in 5 sets. Nick is here. He does not look like he has utilized the shower facility, so I'm going to keep my distance, but his Las Vegas Ramblers looked like they were left for dead and pulled off a tremendous come-from-behind victory. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for this one for Texas. Jose Malero. You may remember the name. He was the starting lib last year for the Matadors. Well, he is moved to Texas where everything's bigger, and he wears number 1, the Puerto Rican, tremendous defensive player, one of the finest libs in the league to defend the Texas back line. Rest of the lineup for Texas: number 7, Gabriel Quiones; number 9, Gianluca Grasso. Quiones will set. Grasso will be on the receiving end of those sets. Talk about a pickup. Jake Langlois, number 10, started for the Stingers last year. He is now in the lineup for the Tyrants as the other outside. Yet is by far the top 1-2 outside combo probably in the history of the NVA. Rest of the lineup for the Tyrants: Ryan Mounty, number 15, in the middle. Tim Johnson, number 17, is on the right side, and Austin Lovett, number 22, also in the middle. For the LA Blaze, Carlos Negron, number 1, in the middle. Eduardo Hernandez, one of the outsides, number 6. Alejandro Del Castillo on the pin. Rafael Cruz, the other outside, number 10. Luis Carlos Ruiz Torres will set, number 13. Joseph Cuevas on the right side, and Nick Liz Dennis, number 18, will be your libero. I'm joined alongside Nick England. How you feeling, buddy?
Oh, I'm on cloud 9 right now. That was a heck of a nail biter. Still sweating, trying to cool it all down, but I think this is the real treat right now. We got a 6 o'clock match. What a great exclamation point for the night. You already touched on it, but Jake Langlois coming in. Jose Malero, that is a heck of an off-season 1-2 pickup. So I'm excited to see how that team comes together.
Well, in the middle, Austin,
gosh.
Love it, dropping bombs.
We love to see that, number 22, dropping the authority.
And the LA Blaze has learned pretty quickly, if they don't put a block up, this is going to be a very short day. Because Lovett's not even the primary focus of this offense when you look at who else they have. And this is why Texas is my preseason pick to win the NVA title. Free ball opportunity here for the Tyrants. From the back row, Langlois brings pain.
Gabo Quinones connecting brilliantly. If you recall, Gabo Quinones is one of the brothers associated. Also, his brothers run the Dallas Tornadoes. There's 3 of them in the league, so love seeing the brotherly love between the two Texas teams. But Isaiah Afaji used last year to run a 6-2 combination with Daniel Jacobs on the right. I'll be curious to see if they do that again this year.
And that's too long by Lovett. I'm curious your opinion on these Tyrant uniforms. If you want to call them uniforms. I look at more, I'm going to call them, fashion statements.
Hey, let's put it this way. What I said to the Rambler boys while we were over there and they walked in, I said, I love to see that in the league. I'm just glad I'm not the one wearing them.
If everybody out there will say a silent prayer for Kenzie Clare, who is the lead statistician for the NVA, she's got to be able to read these numbers. If the stats are not correct, it is not Kenzie's fault. She is a pro. But, at some point there is damage done to the retina. Tim Johnson, well, sir, you missed it before you joined me. I had the perfect analogy. This was a combination, these uniforms of Fred Flintstone and a 1969 tie-dye rave.
I get that it's not yours. I'm picking up a vibe. Hey, but on the other side, LA Blaze redoing their jerseys. I love the look over here.
I love the Blaze look. Yep, that is certainly there's a few teams that have redone uniforms. Obviously, we saw that the Utah Stingers with a nice new touch. Oh my God!
Show me the Mountie. Ryan Mountie out of the middle. Wow, we are seeing the middle presence felt from the side of the Texas Tyrants. There's absolute domination coming through the middle.
The Tyrants turned and just looked away from the play. They didn't even wait to see where the ball was going to land. They were so confident what the outcome of that play was going to be. And the Tyrants are going to be an absolute, with the exception maybe of the Unis, an absolute pleasure to watch this season, as they are going to bring firepower that may not have existed anywhere in this league before.
I can tell you there's a couple teams that are ready to contest that, but I'm excited to see what they bring.
You want to give us a preview?
OC Stunners bringing in Keenan Sanders in the middle. They're bringing Joey Jarvis back, Corey Chavers back. They've still got Matt Hilling. They've still got everybody over on that squad. Las Vegas Ramblers, lots of new faces.
We're gonna have a replay here, as that was a quick whistle by referee Tony Chan. Thought that had hit the floor.
We saw a kick dig there from number 1 Carlos Negron. He was able to get underneath of that, pick it up. So little hustle and court awareness there, rewarded.
If anything, the Blazers are going to be a scrappy bunch. They're going to need to be able to contend here against this Tyrant squad. They go to Langlois, power tip for the win.
He really knows how to use his size. He's got 2 patented swings. He likes to go tip over the top, or he gets a lot of hard angle. So you really like to set him tight and let him make the decision. If you don't get up with him and try to take away that line, he'll just throw it down, and if you do, he goes hard angle. A lot of experience there, played under USA for some time before settling back down stateside. And
Johnson gets the outcome.
Wow. Firing on all cylinders. We're seeing pipes. We're seeing D's. The middle well established. Tyrants offense in full effect right now.
This is a national central matchup. The Tyrants and the Blaze in this newly reinvented national conference, the Chicago Untouchables. They'll play tomorrow, as that is put away by Carlos Negron.
That's a huge swing, answering in kind to the Texas Tyrants. I love to see that after 2 bounces out of the middle. Gets his chance and does some damage.
The Untouchables, Freedom, Tornadoes, and Matadors, who have changed their name to the Inland Empire Matadors, by the way.
Yep.
And Team Freedom has rebranded as New Jersey Freedom.
That is correct.
And I actually like the name, quite frankly, because, the more New Jersey, the better.
Yeah. You're a bit of a homer. I get it. No, it's one of those things that as the teams start to establish their brand a little bit more, time goes on, they get sometimes a better sense of what they think represents their team name. So I love to see the change for both of them.
Of course,
and I love to see that swing. Gets it. I think he got a touch, but we might see a challenge.
They have 3 challenges to work with. They're going to call timeout, are the LA Blaze. They truly believe that there was a touch here, so it'll be interesting to see out of the timeout if we have a timeout and a review. But speaking about branding and new teams. Of course, for those who missed it, we did see the debut today of the 2 expansion teams. The Seattle Sasquatch went to 4 sets before losing the opening today against the defending champion OC Stunners. And then in our second match of the day, the Colorado Kraken took everybody's surprise, and it went to 5 sets. They're actually up 2-1 on the Utah Stingers before the Stingers, without Jake Langlois, were able to bounce back and win it in 5.
Absolutely. There's a lot of experience. I always talk about how much the Utah Stingers, man, they feel like they just slowly strangle you out, and if you don't take the game, they are there to stay. Russ Holmes back in that lineup after a season hiatus. A little bit of a surprise return there. Love to see that.
And he looked really good at it too. It looked like he hadn't missed a beat. Now, what's your thoughts on the Langlois acquisition here for the Tyrants?
I think that's what's part of growing this league and growing our sport here is you're going to see trades, you're going to see acquisitions, and that's a huge block from the recently acquired Langlois.
Reach out and stuff someone.
Oh my gosh. That's as pitted and straight down as it comes.
The BYU product, 6'10", probably the most overall, outside of Russell Holmes, the most accomplished overall player currently rostered in the NVA. Of course, we do have some gifts coming throughout this season, but Langlois,
he has reached the highest peak of any of the other remaining players, that is for sure. Rivaled by, we've seen Corey Chavers playing under USA as well as a couple of other guys, but Langlois has certainly reached some mountaintops. So it's awesome to see him playing in our league here.
Just long.
Now, a quick note on the side of LA Blaze. We saw a double sub of Jesus Serrano coming in, number 14, taking hands over. Charles Belvin, hot off of his first season overseas in Sweden, coming back in and now to serve. So that double sub being utilized. Look for a little energy pick-me-up to see if they can get the tides turning back their way.
So Belvin, who was not in the starting lineup, out of Long Beach, California. He'll be 28 years old in June. Our officials are having a conversation with LA coach David Chaparro. Our officials for this match, Tony Chan is in the big chair. Dennis Francisini's the R2. Justin Baker, Elvin Otley are on the lines.
Gotta say, I've been really enjoying, now having played with it and broadcast it, adding that challenge system has been a next level addition. And we are only one day in. Seeing some of those tight calls and the implications it can have on the games, it's been a ton of fun, man.
Well, it almost changed the outcome of your match, the match that just concluded, because for Southern Exposure, they were down 6, and that one challenge by Tony Glester's club allowed them to continue that streak and eventually tied it. And we thought for a moment, it looked like initially, and it was called incorrectly on the court, but it looked like they had won a second challenge and you were tied again at 14.
It's funny, I had front row seats to both. One, I tried to swing and touch because I thought it was going in, and I just missed completely. And the second one, I pulled the block, looked up, and saw it miss by 1.5 feet. So I was a little surprised when that call came back that there was a touch. It was a little shocking, but it all got it right. Our head refs took care of us, and we got it all sorted out. Right now, there's a little discussion. I believe it's related to substitutions coming into our computer system, causing a little bit of a slowdown. But I'm seeing the table next to me giving signal that they are all ready. And that means it is time for us to get back under action.
What was ultimately the call? When you laid out and you came up and you were
ball was
vehement
in.
That
I missed it. I did not touch the ball, but ball hit line.
About that.
What?
You were vehement, you didn't touch it. But
I did not touch the ball.
But it hit the line.
It hit the line. I saw the ball compression on the, I got to review after. There was no part of me that questioned that was the case. I was pretty sure it was in.
You were just vehement, you didn't touch it.
Right.
Yeah. Honest Nick England. We gave you a new nickname on the broadcast, by the way.
Oh, God.
You're now known as Diesel. Langlois swinging away. That's dug up by the Blaze. Back set to Belvin as he was able to run that down. Langlois takes a little speed off of it and a communication breakdown for the Blaze. Two players looked at each other. Hernandez and Jesus Serrano looked at each other and neither got there.
It's one of those tough ones. When someone on your team is willing to lay out and they make that play, you got to follow up after him. It was a great initial read by Charles Belvin. He wants to see that follow-up.
In the middle, but right there waiting for that was Quiones. Tim Johnson unleashing the beast.
I don't think I'll ever hit a point in my broadcasting career that I'm going to stop saying how impressed I am by his ability to just vertically attack the ball. He was over the top of a double block for that kill.
Tim Johnson's 6'4", but he jumps like a 6'9", 6'10 type player. Grosso with a power tip. LA Blaze in transition. Belvin missed long. Was there a touch? They are going to challenge it. They believe there was indeed a touch with a Tyrant 13-6 lead here.
Interesting. I really got to say I don't care for this challenge. One, if I don't see Charles, arguing for it, I don't see the player arguing for it. Okay, they're not going to challenge it. 13-6, even if you get it, I think you're kind of down quite a bit. Liz Dennis cover.
Malera with the feet outside to Tim Johnson, and Johnson's able to put it away.
This is one of those things that is so threatening. When you see the Tyrants, when they're really attacking the ball well, the problem that's really makes them threatening is they all have good ball control for wipes, for tips, and you're all committed. You're full speed in trying to dig the rally, and then all of a sudden they just hit full speed back at you. Watch this scrap though.
It's two in a row. Lovett dug it off the net, and then it was Johnson with the defensive play. They go to Tim Johnson, goes for the back line, but cannot connect.
Love to see the defensive effort finally rewarded for the LA Blaze, something that they've been struggling to get going thus far.
So dropping back to serve here will be Rafael Cruz. Goes by Rafa out of Greenwood, Indiana. Leaves it short. Here is Lovett again. I've gotten to a point where I'm not even looking at the numbers because it's not the easiest thing in the world to read, but after doing this with you for a year, I know most players by their faces.
Belvin, big swing. There was a net there that got missed. It looks like Grosso swings in transition.
And Belvin with a running athletic dig. The tip from the back row, a useful spot for Rafa Cruz.
LA Blaze hustle getting rewarded right now. Love to see it happen. Serving substitution coming in right now. That's going to be Tyler Padayo coming in as a serving substitution for number 7 in the middle, Alejandro Del Castillo, apologies.
Part of the reason we have Nick England on the broadcast is his boyish good looks, but it's also his ability to roll an R. He also, when I'm on the East Coast and trying to pronounce these California cities, he is my source for information. It is La Jolla, California, not whatever I said when NJT and UC San Diego played earlier this year. Tim Johnson, he destroys everything.
Huge hard angle swing there. Charles Belvin tries to stand in, get a touch, unable to do so. Man, the pressure mounting from Tyrants is just unwavering and unrelenting.
That ball came into our broadcast booth. That's why the camera shot came to us quickly. Tim Johnson nearly took out the backdrops as he will drop back to serve. Johnson, 6'4", out of Chicago, Illinois. He is 25 years old. And he just keeps getting better, although that one is too long. Johnson almost gets lost in the spotlight because the Tyrants are so rich in talent. They were last year because Gianluca Grosso, absolutely and deservingly so, got much of the headlines, but Tim Johnson's as good as anybody in this league. And when he's on, he's almost impossible to shut down, which is saying a lot because he's undersized at 6'4" compared to some of the other big names.
Net from don't know about that one.
Well, they're calling it on Hernandez.
Yeah, well, I saw it wrong. No argument there. I'm sorry. Did you say Grasso was 6'4"?
No, Tim Johnson.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say I misheard you.
Grasso's like 6'6".
Okay, I was going to say that's what makes him so impressive as an outside.
But even Tim Johnson at 6'4" is undersized.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I just, I've still got my head pounding a bit from that last set. Nicholas Dennis steps in.
Collects it off of the ceiling, swinging away. Grasso digs it up. Langlois, he gets blocked.
Negron steps in there, gets over the net. Solo one-on-one, shuts down Langlois.
Carlos Negron, one of the younger players in the NVA. He's only 21 years old. He'll be 22 in July. And here is Hernandez out of Ponce, Puerto Rico.
Played for the Dallas Tornadoes last year.
They go to love it. Such hops.
Oh my God. Charles Belvin, the lefty powerhouse on the right side for the Blaze, putting that ball away.
And the LA Blaze are certainly not a team right now that's in any kind of title picture, at least in terms of the preseason. The attention's on, of course, this Tyrant squad and the Ramblers, of course, and the Stunners are going to be just as good as they've ever been, but there's players in every one of these teams, and Belvin, as he goes one-on-one with Langlois, is certainly a player you got to watch as this year goes on. And by the way, don't forget Southern Exposure. Southern Exposure.
Oh, they're going to be in great form. They're bringing back a lot of the same people, some key upgrades. So definitely respect that name, like you said.
Passes off the mark. They go back to Belvin. Why not? And it will trickle wide off the tape. As the lead swells to 19-11, the Blaze are going to call a timeout.
We're going to get those eyes checked a little bit. That's 17-9. I appreciate you trying to read that one upside down.
It says 19-11 on the scoreboard.
Oh. All right. Well, I'm looking at the data volley over here. Oh.
Nick England over here trying to tell me how to do my job.
I'm over here throwing shades.
Jeez Louise, I didn't tell you how to not touch balls diving out of bounds.
For all I know, you did. Are you going to make me go back and watch the match?
Well, you should, because you were the talk of the town. I don't think you realize how much of a fan club. The world wants to see more of Diesel in a sleeveless Rambler outfit out there, smashing balls and not touching balls that are going out of bounds until replay overturns it. We also determined during the broadcast that you were absolutely the inspiration for the country of England, as that is put away by Langlois. You miss so much while you're out on the court.
I know. It all goes by in a blur. And I see a comment in the YouTube chat right now addressing the fact that the middles from Blaze are overseas. A quick nod to Pedro Nieves, who is playing with Matt Hillings from the OC Stunners over in Israel this season. They're also going to have Jonathan Rodriguez. Both of those players, after the last NVA season, had a stint playing with the Puerto Rican squad that went to the VNL and were champions ultimately, and they were the two starting middles, so they're a critical part of this squad. So excited to see them make their return. Travis O'Gorman, as the 0-1 for this team, was a top 5 scorer in the league last year. Currently unable to make this day one. I think he'll be making his return later on this weekend. So, this is one of those things that we've seen a couple teams that have some of their pieces and some of the guys that are on the bench normally step up and being impact players. So you love to see it. And sometimes this is the most revealing thing to show you what the culture of the team is all about. And right now, Blaze looking to be a scrappy team that can make a name for themselves. But Jake Langlois doesn't care about your scrap. He's just going to put a hole in the floor instead.
Gabriel Quiones will drop back to serve. I'm just going to sit here and just watch the match because I think Nick can pretty much do everything by himself at this point. And Belvin able to get the kill. Not an easy task there as he stuck it through the block of Langlois and Lovett.
Now we're seeing a double sub that's going to undo the sub that was done earlier with Jesus Serrano and Charles Belvin heading back to the bench, which is going to mean Joseph Cuevas, number 15, making his return, as well as setter number 13, Luis Torres. So it'll be interesting to see. I didn't notice, I guess they were trying to keep a blocker front row. So the strategy in theory behind this here is that by undoing the sub right now, you're going to keep your setters back row for 3 more rotations, keep your size at the net. So this is a traditional 6-2 sub using our 1-in, 1-out system.
Langlois with the roll. That's run down by the Blaze. And from the back row, that is put away for LA.
Great work by Nicholas Dennis, gets all the way to the net, does not net, pulls that ball out, able to put up a nice pipe attack, and that was put away well on the side of the Blaze.
So here is Luis Torres at Lares, Puerto Rico, 25 years old. This one is too long. 22-14, a very healthy lead here as Jake Langlois will go back and try to be the problem that he is. Free ball, love it, loves it.
I gotta say, the Texas Tyrants middles with Lovett and Mountie have 2 of the best last names for puns. They're just, it's broadcasting magic for us. It really is, Ira. Sometimes you got to work for it, and sometimes it just falls in your lap.
Oh, with us,
oh my gosh.
Us, it just comes to it, and Langlois unloads on the serve, and Malero lays out for the dig, but the free ball allows the Blaze to capitalize, put away the kill for Cruz.
Quick shout out, Nicholas Dennis was the second libero on this team last year behind Ricardo Massanet. Ricardo Massanet will be joining the team at future events. So Nicholas Dennis, one of those guys that is stepping up and making his name known. That was a heck of a pass to battle with that serve from Jake Langlois.
Played for the University of South Carolina club team. Oh, love it, just dropping more bombs. And we have 9 set points here for the Tyrants.
I always love that the Texas Tyrants travel better than any other team as well. They bring a ton of friends and family out to their matches, and man, they are electric.
And Austin Lovett, 6'6", out of San Jose, California, will look to end it. And a free ball could be over here if Tim Johnson has his way, and he does. And the Texas Tyrants, their debut for the 2022 season, impressive in this opening set, 25-15. They are victorious. We'll take a break and get you set for set number 2 here in San Bernardino, California. Much more to come.
And we are back, and fans, if you don't already know, the NVA is all about giving you a complete experience. We've got our mobile app, we've got NVAUSA.com, but most importantly, it is time to get your swag and support your favorite teams. Be sure to go check out NVAUSA.shop. Instead of .com, it's .shop. You're going to get great, awesome looks just like that pink hat. I couldn't pull it off any better myself if I tried, but guys, no time better than right now to find your favorite team, see what their new players might be all about, and get behind them and start supporting. After that, though, we've got a little sideline hit, throwing it over to Noah Chast.
Yeah, Nick, I'm told what make this Tyrant team so special, outside of their crazy athleticism and talent, is that they're close. 9 to 10 of these guys practice twice a week, and they're friends, and some of them were even roommates. So there's a lot of camaraderie with this group. And then you add in guys like Langlois and Malero. He says they're gelling just fine, and they just have athleticism and talent off the charts, along with that friendship and that team strength that is kind of rare to see right now with a lot of teams with players overseas and coming in and out. So that's definitely been a big boost for them. Nick, I'll send it back your way.
Awesome to hear. To reinforce that, so Gianluca Grasso was playing in the finals in the Puerto Rican League against Malero this last summer. And I was talking to some of the guys on the Tyrants. They were getting together actively, 8, 9, 10 of the guys that were still back home, and they were all watching with their friends and family and having viewing parties to watch Grasso play prior to Malero joining the squad. So it really just speaks to it's not an April to August thing for them. This is a year-round program that they're building, a family that they're creating. And, man, if you're going to wear jerseys that loud, you got to commit to doing it together.
Yeah, that is absolutely a statement from their uniforms that just shows the personality of that bunch. A team that's going 0-10 in the regular season is not going to be caught in kits like that.
No, they are not. That couldn't be said better.
We like to joke about the uniforms, but it certainly does talk about the culture of the Tyrants right now. They were a program that last year you saw the franchise kind of emerge, bits and pieces where they had some matches where they were untouchable out there, and then they looked, very pedestrian at times.
Yeah,
and this year, I think, with the addition of not Langlois clearly, but also a Malero, is certainly going to kind of enhance what they've already got.
Yeah, last year we really saw a team that maybe was sometimes what we say vertically challenged, right? They were a little bit smaller, and they relied on that scrap. Something that's so impressive about Langlois is that his height, coming in at 6'10", his ability to pass a ball is some of the best I've ever seen. He was trained by Taylor Sander as a teammate while they were at BYU when he picked up volleyball. And so, you really see a lot of those kind of beach aspects that made Taylor Sander so successful.
Well, some other food for thought, people pointed it out in the chat, the size difference between Langlois at 6'10", and Jose Malero at 5'3", their two biggest acquisitions. That is 19 inches in difference, and it looks like more than that if you think about it. 19 inches is the difference in size. That's like another half of a Jose.
Game ball touches.
Together, they have formed, quite frankly, the backbone of probably the best acquisitions in the league so far this season, with more to come, as you said.
Absolutely. And we saw Gianluca Grasso being so successful as the 0-1, and typically when I talk about an 0-1, that's your more offensive load carrying outside hitter. Think your Corey Chavers, think your Travis O'Gormans. And now that he's really in that passing-centric position, that's what he does. That's what he's allowed to do, pass a perfect ball. And Austin Lovett is coming in at a form unlike we saw ever in 2021.
Lovett is having an opportunity to get involved because the passing game has been nearly perfect today. And talk about the addition of Malero. You might look at his size and, well, not really be somebody who pops on the court, but he can play that position as well as anybody.
Yeah. He's one of the best liberos in the league, hands down, no questions asked. So he's always a pleasure to watch.
That's obviously a huge loss for the Matadors, of course. And for the Tyrants, that's one of their biggest additions they could have had, because obviously a well-executed serve reception is going to fuel this offense that we talked about, a three-headed monster between Langlois and Tim Johnson, who just swung for the kill, and of course Grasso. But We have to now add Lovett in there, as that is a fourth option you cannot ignore.
I don't even know what you do. I mean, now that I'm looking at this passing line, I don't know. I guess you try to attack seams between, like, wherever. I guess I'd be serving at Jake Langlois.
And Langlois is passing textbook right now.
Yeah. But, I mean, Grosso might be the best passer in the league. So he's just not a target. I don't know. It's a tough situation.
You know, I think you can, at least in the divisional matches here in the National Conference, National Central, I don't see anybody coming close to the Tyrants this year. They're going to run the table, at least in the division. And that's no disrespect to the Blaze or the Untouchables. Untouchables are somewhat improved from last year as well, as they've had a whole roster makeover.
Oh, yeah, that's been a full update. And right now, regardless of the update, they lost 8 guys to travel-related issues coming in this weekend. So they're going to have a roster here, but it is not the roster they intended to travel. That is for sure.
Tim Johnson, too long. It's not even easy to travel anymore right now with the airports as busy as they are. Now the flights have become almost completely full. So, if you do have travel difficulties and then you miss a flight, you're pretty much done for an entire weekend. Saw that last year in the playoffs with Team Freedom, as Chris Nugent and a couple of other big pieces weren't available because of travel difficulties, and that pretty much ended the year for Freedom, trying to go into the playoffs without its biggest weapons.
Oh, swing on 2, no touch, misses that one. High, wide, long, take your pick. That was not it for Blaze there. Grosso will continue his run now from the back line.
Game 1, by the way, the Tyrants, as a team, hit a 70% clip. Absolutely ungodly numbers. 26 kills in 23 total attempts. The LA Blaze just 7 kills, hit 29% in that opening set, and
26 kills.
16 kills versus 7.
Apologies. I misheard you that. You said 26 kills and 25 points, and I was going to say that is probably the best performance I've ever seen. My brain is still a little turned off after that last game.
Have you had an energy drink between
a couple,
these?
But, well, not energy drinks, just Gatorade.
You need something because you've had a long day, and Langlois gets stuffed. You don't see that very often, but the Blaze doing a good job of closing him out. The hands of Del Castillo largely involved. He is now playing in the middle.
That's been 2 terminal blocks against Langlois, so we see LA Blaze respecting his ability to swing and making sure there's plenty of hands in front of him.
That's too long.
Man, LA Blaze got to keep those serves dialed in. They're missing long a lot, and they're not getting a rally. That's the toughest part of the sport. You got to apply enough pressure that you're not giving free balls over, but at the same time, you got to ride that fine line.
Ryan Mounty, 6'6", out of Lourdes College. And that takes a wicked hop off of the tape, will fall in for a kill for LA, put it in the column of Del Castillo. So a side out for the Blaze. They are hanging tough here in this second set. Now even at 7-7, it'll be number 7, Del Castillo to serve. We have not had a match today decided in under 4 sets. Langlois destroys it. You're going to hear him just exhale that huge grunt as he put everything into that attack. You're live here at the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino, California. It's nearly 100 degrees outside. AC's chugging along, so it's nice now inside, as this is our 4th and final match of the day. That attack by Cuevas left short. On Ira Thor, he is Diesel. Nick England of the victorious Las Vegas Ramblers, and Noah Chast the third member of our crew. We finally allowed Matt Prosser to take a breath.
Ooh,
that
there's
is blocked
another
back.
Big block.
Carlos Negron with the stuff.
Man, love to see it. LA Blaze finding a little bit of a heartbeat through their block right now. That's going to be critically important if they find a little bit of life here in this second set.
Clipping the tape does the serve of Torres. Here's Johnson, an off-balance swing, and he left it wide. Johnson thought there was a touch. Langlois is signifying for it as well. I think they're going to challenge this play, Nick, as they come over to... They're looking for the challenge card. It is MIA, so instead of a challenge card, they try to hand the roster, the lineup as a challenge card. Apparently that currency exchange won't work out. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have walked away with the green challenge card, we ask you to bring it back courtside. Thank you. Players looking all over for it. I think the referee is... And finally, coming to the rescue, Cynthia Buggs of the LA Blaze, saying, we'll loan you our card if you really want to take a look that badly.
They walked over there with it, so they were hoarding the cards. This is new next level strategy. Everybody, you're seeing it here first. For the first time in the NVA, not only is the match being played on the court, but defense and offense occurring off the court. The green card defense here playing at the very highest level by the LA Blaze.
On the next episode of Hoarders, the LA Blaze, they'll take your challenges, they'll take our challenges. Well, we've seen it all now.
Honestly, no, and that's what I love so much about adding this challenge system. We are getting so many fun game situations unfolding in a variety of situations, and so right now, I'll be honest, I didn't even see what they were trying to challenge based on where the ball was at. And so I'm just excited to see, this exchange right here. But it's been awesome. And there's something that I love that's kind of an unexpected benefit from having the challenge system. So many players tend to focus on what could have been, whether there was a touch they disagreed with, whether there was a ball was in or out. Now, you just put your money where your mouth is. If you actually think that was the case, challenge. And it stopped a lot of the on-the-court banter. I love that the refs aren't having to hear about it, because if you really want to say it, just throw that green card up instead. And it's been awesome to see how much it's kind of changed the on-the-court presence for a lot of that complaining. And I know it's normally a part of the game, but seeing that disappear, man, you won't hear a complaint from me.
Now, the one addition we do want to see, and we're going to try to bring you as the season goes on. And here's the call. They're saying it's out. There was no touch, so the call on the court is upheld.
Oh,
but
this was the line shot by Johnson. Yeah, okay. So that one will resume.
Something we do want to see as the season, though, progresses, and we're going to do our best in our end tactically, is to add that replay to the broadcast. So those of you at home who are watching this, and whether we stay on our YouTube platform or move to another platform as the year goes on, give you that chance to see that replay live as it's being reviewed and have a chance to talk about exactly what is being looked at, just like they do in the NFL and some other leagues that utilize replay, as Jake Langlois, an off-speed pitch for the kill.
That swing, I can't verbalize enough how much of an impossibility that feels like. That's a roll shot for me. That's a roll shot that goes up first. He roll shotted that just straight down over the block. It is absurd. And to have that back row service pass, the passing from Malero, it feels like cheater mode.
Well, the Tyrants have become maybe the Yankees or maybe the Dodgers of the NVA with all the riches that they've added to their arsenal, but still got to win it on the court. And Grasso, he ignites one.
Net violation there on the LA Blaze, but if you're running the stat book, we give Grasso a kill. He's working hard in transition right there with a great point for the Tyrants. Now we see 11-9. LA Blaze here in the second set, answering back quite nicely, down by just 2. So if they just keep battling, they might find themselves in an advantageous position.
And tooling Tim Johnson for the kill is Cuevas, the product of Newark, New Jersey.
Joe Cuevas been in the league and associated with the league for upwards of 6 or 7 years now. Played for a variety of teams, including Blizzard, which was the former squad of OC Stunners. I've played with him since 2016. Seeing him still around the league, making his presence known.
Here's Eduardo Hernandez to serve. Grasso lays out and was able to save it and avoid going under the net, but it doesn't matter. Carlos Negron doing bad things.
The middle presence here today has been blow for blow. Love it. Negron, Mountie, names are getting said quite a bit here with the offensive prowess.
Hernandez was waiting for a ball. He'll go to the card and choose one to his liking. Hopefully at this point of the day, they are nice and dry and not full of slime. But I doubt it. Great pass there for the Tyrants, and you see the result. Malero allows Johnson to do his thing. So a side out here, Austin Lovett, who attended college at West Virginia, and his team leads by 1. Deep floater from Lovett. Down the line, Lovett able to get the pass, and then Grasso avoids killing a photographer. Taking a step back and swinging away is Cruz. Here's Johnson. Goes towards the middle and a diving dig for the Blaze as they send it over. And Langlois so well disguised the back row big roll shot at 6'10". As you said a moment ago, Nick, it's almost not even fair.
It's really not. But I mean, that's what's so scary about this Tyrants team is their ability to scrap. But I gotta give a nod to LA Blaze for playing that entire point out, sticking it out, and unfortunately unable to come up with it in the end.
And a great dig by Torres, who had laid out for one of those digs.
Ooh, there it is.
There's a response from Cuevas.
Love it when a libero gets rewarded for a great pass like that. Reads the tape bounce well, and Joseph Torres Cuevas on the right side.
13-12, the Tyrants, who absolutely dominated in every sense of the word set number 1. Hasn't been easy here in game 2. The Blaze have begun to find themselves. Langlois with the quick pass and allows Lovett to swing away for the kill. Cannot save it where the Blaze.
What a set by Gabo Quinones right there. That was as fast a pass as you can get there from Langlois. Handles it and Mountie gets up. Great attack run there for the Tyrants.
Back set, cross court, getting the kill again is Cuevas.
Joe Cuevas putting in work right now. We're going to see that 6-2 double sub coming in. That's going to be Jesus Serrano substituting in for Cuevas. And that's going to be Belvin coming in for number 13, Torres. Like I said earlier, the goal of this is to hold a front row opposite for 3 more rotations, and then 3 more when it comes back out. Made very prominent in this league last season by Texas Tyrants themselves, and now utilized by the LA Blaze.
Off of the tape, it's going to fall in, and then a collision between Mountie and Quinones as they both come up a little worse for wear. As it falls in for the first ace of the day for the Blaze.
That one always scares me. Ryan Mountie, someone that's got some shoulder injuries, so anytime I see a head-on collision there, I always get a little nervous, but it looks like everyone's going to be okay. Serrano, an aggressive server previously of the Inland Empire Matadors, gets an out-of-system pass.
Tim Johnson off the high hands to break the 14-14 tie. So here's Grosso back to serve. Grosso last year was second in the league, only to Brandon Rattray for most total points.
He was also on the NVA All-Tournament team, or the All-NVA team.
So we're all square at 15. Rafa Cruz is your server. Great pass by Grosso. Sets a little bit behind, but when you're 6'10", Langlois can adjust. Tim Johnson, oh my God, they run it down. Quiones and Johnson, and Malero then saves it. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. Belvin is not impressed with the defense, and he drops a bomb down the line to send us to our technical timeout with the LA Blaze in front, 16-15. Great defense by the Tyrants, but they were not rewarded with the point.
Charles Belvin puts an exclamation point on that one.
And we will go to break and come back for more. Back here live, Jake Langlois out of the timeout, able to tie it with the kill. And it'll be Ryan Mauney. Try to give his team back to lead. Mauney, 6'6", he is 27 years old. And his shoulders held together by the K-tape. Austin Lovett closing down the middle with the stuff. Langlois involved, but that was mostly Lovett there, who is forced the LA Blaze to take a quick timeout before this set gets away from them. That's 3 points in a row as the I don't know, I would call it Fred Flintstone, but the Flintstone-esque Tyrants are now inspired to bounce back from this Blaze squad. Belvin's come in, and you know, Nick, he definitely brings athleticism and instant offense capabilities, but it hasn't been enough for this Blaze squad.
Charles Belvin is a walking highlight. He is a lot like Tim Johnson, where you watch just the sheer physicality and verticality those guys both have. And man, it is comical watching when you get to see some of the Charles Belvin highlight reels that were coming out of his first season overseas. There was some swings and angles I've never seen hit, so excited to see, you know, he's such a young guy, excited to see him continue to grow.
That is poked deep. Grosso waiting for it. They go to Langlois, who's blocked back. Langlois saves it with his foot. He's 6'10", long legs, and uses them. And speaking of using the block, Eduardo Hernandez with the kill.
I think soccer was one of the sports he actually grew up playing to a pretty high level. And he traded up and decided to play one of the best sports known to man. Grew some volleyball legs, and here he is.
And he is a success story because he was truly a late bloomer.
Yep.
Didn't pick up the sport until late in life, and you know, the fact that he went on and then became an All-American for BYU and what he's done, you know, as an international player, it's just unbelievable. You could pick up the sport and still be getting better and learning every day at this sport.
Lovett is on fire. A nice little drift approach there, covering a lot of ground. Easy set there for Quinones. And we're going to see the Blaze serving substitution undone here.
1 point lead for the Tyrants as Quinones will serve. They go to Belvin, and he is unmatched.
Rafa Cruz starting that off with the pass. We always say pass first. Rafa does that beautifully, and Belvin gets rewarded. But now we're going to see that double sub undone. 3 more rotations with a front row oppo. Joe Cuevas coming back in, and that's going to be Torres taking the hands for number 13 once again.
So Torres will serve. The LA Blaze trying to find a way to stay in this match. They got blown out in game number 1. And if they could take this second set, we certainly would have an unexpected match on our hands. Everybody looks at the Tyrants' offense, and how could you not be impressed? But still got to play the game. Blaze will be in action tomorrow. The Tyrants will have the Saturday off, and it'll be the Blaze against the Untouchables. Laying out for that one is Quinones. Johnson reached back and couldn't keep it alive. Now, you hate to reach back and disrupt the play, but also if you don't reach back, you don't know if somebody's covering.
I really wanted to hear, you always talk about reach out and stuff someone. I wanted to hear you say, don't reach back and stuff your teammate or something along those lines. It was cycling in my
We can
head.
add that through the arsenal.
Okay.
I'll take that under advisement. Great pass by Langlois. They go to Tim Johnson, and that is dug back by the Blaze. Lovett says, you will not get a third. Absolutely annihilates it.
I am at a loss for words. This is not the Austin Lovett that existed in 2021. I don't know if it was lifting some off-season. I don't know. I have no idea what it could be, but we are seeing a power unlike anything we've ever seen from him. Now we see a serving substitution. Anthony Robinson, the other outside hitter that played alongside Grasso last year, coming in as a serving substitution, one of the best defensive players in the league. So a great serving substitution, see if he can extend some rallies here.
And there's some movement on that serve, but it didn't matter as it's put away on the right side there by Cuevas. Quite amazing that you got an Anthony Robinson on the bench, who was probably your number 2 offensive option a year ago, and he's not even going to factor, into the offense this season unless the Tyrants are missing a player.
Certainly is the case. Now we see if Negron can get anything going over for the side of Blaze, who's down by, oh no, they're tied up. Apologies.
And that is too long, so that unbreaks the tie. 21-20.
It's the broken record, easiest thing to say, but man, the LA Blaze service errors right now, this late in the game, are absolutely killing them. They're having back-to-back-to-back. They've got to give themselves an opportunity to play the points and hang in there. When they get a chance to see the full rally, they're playing great volleyball right now.
Here's a chance to look for the first time at serving substitution. Wesley Blodig, who just served. And his timeout there will be short, as that's dropped in by Cruz.
And that's incorrect that is actually James Anderson. I know, I played alongside James Anderson. He's a product of Orange County. Yeah, that's incorrect.
So right there.
I understand. He's been my teammate before. That is James Anderson. Younger brother is Brett Anderson. Played at Cal Bap. And nicknamed Butters because his hands are a thing of legend.
So I'm not supposed to be able to trust what I read?
Not everything that you read, Ira. No.
And that kill for LA puts them in front 22-21 as Cuevas and company looking to surprise the Tyrants here. And he leaves it short. A big miss for LA. 22-22 It's a race to 3.
That's at least 3 missed serves here in post 19 points. This is killing the LA Blaze. Ooh.
And they get the result.
Rafa Cruz, a left-handed throwdown, taking advantage of Daniel Jacobs on the right side there.
So the Blaze again clutching the lead, 23-22. Tyrants bringing a substitution. It's Daniel Jacobs. He's dug up. The Blaze, cross-court, Malero lays out for the dig. And Langlois with a useful spot for the winner.
See a great question in the YouTube chat asking about, as a new NVA fan, where are the matches being played? What's going on? So here's the quick rundown. We are playing every match out here in San Bernardino, California at the Pierce Sports Center, so you can rely on seeing all of these matches. If you don't know where to find the schedule, be sure to check out NVAUSA.com or the NVA Instagram, where there is regular posts coming out with information for you daily. All 12 of the teams will be competing at every event across 3 days. The top 8 teams from our 2 conferences split into 4 divisions will be represented at the final 6th event. So definitely want to get in here, as this is event 1. Find out what team you think is going to be the best one to represent, and be sure to tune in, because during event 2 and 3, we're going to have a ton of players back from overseas.
Del Castillo serving for the set, but Lovett says we are playing on. Now all square at 24. And if I'm picking a man of the match right now, it's Austin Lovett by a long shot.
He is absolutely making his presence known. Double sub undone there. James Anderson exits the court alongside Daniel Jacobs. And that is going to be Texas Tyrants out of substitutions.
Back set. That's touched at the net. Good pass by Malero. Langlois unties it. The Blaze have had their opportunities. They had a set point, but now the result of this one hangs in the balance of Quiones, who will serve. It's 25-24. The Blaze, rightfully so, call a timeout.
Yeah, and this is one of those tough ones. It's really tough. The serves that have been missed by LA Blaze since 18 or 19 points, you're kicking yourself right now, because they've missed 3 or 4 serves that they didn't even get to play, and here they are down by just 1. It's a tough spot to be in, but I love the grit that we're seeing from this team, their ability to continue competing and battle with one of the best teams in the league right now. Promising future for a team that's got a lot more firepower that will be coming their way soon. In all honesty, Texas Tyrants is almost at full strength right now, as far as I know from their roster. So maybe 1 or 2 more pieces make their way in, but I don't know what upgrades this squad really makes.
For the Blaze, disappointing end to last season. All they had to do was win their last match of the year, and they would have made the playoffs. Set point here for the Tyrants. Laying out for that one is Grasso. Langlois goes deep with it. They look to the outside. Tim Johnson and Grasso dig it off the net, but our referee blew the whistle early, and we are going to replay the point after the attack by Hernandez didn't fall down. That was cleanly played off the net by Johnson and Lovett, and at least from my vantage point, Nick, officially a replay on set point.
I think we're going to get an official replay here. There was some quick punches being thrown to pop that ball up at the net. I think there was a little bit of processing going on to see what really happened. Maybe it was an accidental whistle blow, can't be sure, but it's going to end in a replay all the same, with Gabo Quinones back on the service line.
Free ball, a gift to the Tyrants, who take game number 2 as Lovett, Langlois, and company make the Blaze pay for that final mistake. 26-24, your score here in game 2. The Tyrants will come back looking for the sweep when we return to San Bernardino for game 3. We're back here courtside. I'm Ira Thor. He's Nick England. Let's hear from the third member of our crew, Noah, on the sideline with some news on the LA Blaze.
Well, yeah, guys, the Blaze, after that first game, they just felt they came out with that first game jitters and that they weren't really playing as their fullest potential, and they didn't have the energy they wanted. They had that in the second set, but they seemed to really lose it at the end, Nick, as you mentioned, with those missed serves that kind of took the momentum out of the game. But they're still believing in themselves right now. They think they saw they can hang with this team, and they know a win is within their grasp. They just have to make it happen.
It's certainly the case. You're bringing up a great point, and it's something that we always talk about, the importance of when things happen. Early on, go green light on the serves. Be aggressive. That's when you want to see it pay off. But later on in the game, that's where you really need to manage your serves, your expectations, and your role in the serving game. It's critically important, and hopefully something that Blaze maybe learns from in this match, but if not, for the season at large itself.
Talk about managing expectations. You're an LA Blaze team that comes in, you know you're missing some of your firepower. You're taking on a Tyrant squad that you yourself have said is about as full strength as they're going to be this year. What is your mindset on how you compete against a team like this, especially now that you've fallen behind 2-0?
So if it's me, what I want to look at is I want to look at a variety of our lineups, a variety of pieces, and evaluate what my expectations are and how that player is expected to perform and fit into the team. If it's me, and there's a bit of bias here, I have to admit, Charles Belvin, I think, is a critically important part of this roster. I want to get him out there. I want to see him starting and playing against this team, see what kind of damage he can do, what kind of load he can bear. We just saw the Ramblers relying heavily on their right side, Ryan Mather, and it's a pretty common theme here across many of the teams. So what can Belvin do? You know, you see a couple of these role players on your team, some of these younger middles that are stepping in until you see the return of Nieves and Jonathan Rodriguez. So what can they do for your team? And kind of piece together a bigger picture.
Game 3 underway. It was Hernandez serving first. Here is Belvin, who you want to see more of. Dug up. This one's going to fall in. The power tip for the Tyrants. They take first blood.
That right there is a great example of sometimes doing the right thing even when it's hard to do. They get that pipe attack route for Grasso, and it's not the full swing he wants, but a power tip coming through gets rewarded all the same.
Back set to Belvin. Change of direction, change of pace.
Man, he accelerated that ball. When he got up to it, he really added speed there.
And Belvin did a good job of hanging in there, kind of looked at his options before he kind of did the sidearm tip on the line. Really no other way to describe it.
Yeah. He's a guy that does a bunch of things that there's not really words for. You just try to talk your way through it.
Grasso, the clean pass, and then Tim Johnson gives him the just rewards.
Mountie makes his return to the court.
Got a great pass, and you hope your teammates are able to reward you, and that's what Tim Johnson does. And you know, it's funny that Tim Johnson is almost going to get lost at times in this offense. And when I say lost, that doesn't mean that, you know, he's not going to get the stats. He certainly will. But they have to focus so much on Langlois and Grasso, and now even Lovett, since he's emerged, that's going to give Tim Johnson a lot of one-on-one looks, Nick.
Certainly is, and Johnson's taking complete advantage of it. We are seeing his offensive prowess displayed beautifully so far in this match. Love to see the form that he is returning to the 2022 season in.
Here's Lovett to serve. That clips the tape. Ooh. And there you see the result of Carlos Negron getting a one-on-one.
All starts with a good pass there from Nicholas Dennis. Works out well, and I really like that set. Quick set across the tape from Serrano. Nice ball from him.
The Blaze up their hitting percentage from 29% in game 1 to 54% in the second set, and that's why they were so competitive. The Tyrants, pretty steady, 70% in game 1, 65% in game 2. As they just don't make a lot of mistakes, and when your middle two can get involved and Ryan Mounty can do that, such a difficult team to slow down. As Tim Johnson drops back to serve. By the way, there's fans in the chat who are a big fan of your sleeve that you wore during the victory today. Something we probably are going to have to add to the NVA team store. As that is put away by Rafa Cruz. The Fountain of Youth Nick England arm sleeve.
That thing has been on my arm since I was 16 playing in high school, just trying to keep my body attached.
The same one?
No, I've got 9 in my drawer at home.
About to say, that's some great manufacturing. The extended warranty has expired years ago and it's still kicking.
On the arm sleeve or my back?
Well, definitely,
and my shoulder,
definitely not
my
your back
elbow.
and shoulder. That warranty, that thing is not, maybe you get one of these telemarketers to call and offer you a new warranty. I wouldn't trust it.
Ooh, big serve from Grasso.
Belvin able to help out his teammate after Cruz got eaten up. Tim Johnson coming out of nowhere with some firepower. And that's just demoralizing for the Blaze. When you get a great defensive coverage like that and the Tyrants still in transition can't score points, Nick, lethal.
Certainly is a tough spot to be in, that's for sure.
So here's Gross, takes a deep breath. And he leaves it short. Big toss towards the court. Grosso wants that one back. I don't think he got the best of tosses, and that led him to the service error. So take a look at Carlos Negron. Jonas has to call for help, and Tim Johnson misfires. Not too often that Tim misses, but even players who hit at a high efficiency from time to time won't connect. And in the middle, Mounty again saying, don't forget me, I'm still an option.
Just relentless. Take your pick, toss your hand into a hat full of names, draw one out, and you're going to get the next guy on the Tyrants that's about to get the big kill.
That's a miss hit. You heard it just take a different sound off of the hands of Eduardo Hernandez. And the lead is 8-5 in favor of the Tyrants. Mounty leaves it short. Free ball, and Jake Langlois. I don't know how Chris Belvin was able to save that, and Langlois tried to softly put it to the court. The Blaze, very scrappy. Langlois and Belvin, they will not let anything fall, and they get rewarded for their perseverance.
Wow, we saw everybody on LA Blaze buy in right there. Charles Belvin all over the place. We see Rafa Cruz covering the baseline, number 10 putting in the work. But at the end of the day, we see number 6, Eduardo Hernandez, putting it in for the final point. Gets the kill, and you love to see Blaze finally feels like a point goes their way and rewards their hard work.
LA earned every bit of that point, and Jesus Serrano will try to draw his team closer. Langlois will not allow it. And the lead is back to 3. And that that is put away by Hernandez.
Hernandez having a solid performance here for the LA Blaze. That was one of the moves I was actually unaware of, seeing him come over from the Dallas Tornadoes, seeing some solid contributions.
And that is wide on the attempt by Hernandez.
A lot less challenges this match than we had in the last one.
10-7 your score. Jake Langlois, one of the faces of the NVA. The deep serve, you saw it, the bottom died from it. That is run down by Malero. And Langlois gets blocked. One-on-one is Negron with the big win.
Hey, quick shout out. I mean, we're seeing the work there from Alejandro Del Castillo in the middle, putting in a ton of work. Gets the block there as Negron returns to the court.
I misread that. I thought it was a 1. It was a 7. You're
the
correct.
7 and the 1's a little tricky, but
the font there was a little off on the 7. You're right. It was Del Castillo who gets the result. A big solo stuff, and he'll drop back to serve. Langlois. Lovett is blocked back. Second chance for Lovett. And diving for that one was Malero. Third chance, Tim Johnson. You don't get a fourth shot.
Man, Negron is doing such a great job controlling the net. But at the end of the day, Tim Johnson will be Air Johnson. Kill on the right side.
Got a feel for the Blaze. They block back Langlois. They block back Lovett. What more could you ask for? And it's still not enough. And the lead is 11-8. Here's Austin Lovett to serve. Good pass. They allow Belvin to do his thing, but it's dug up and over by the shoulder, the muscular shoulder of Tim Johnson. And you see his excitement.
That was one of the biggest sharp angle swings I've ever seen. Tim Johnson steps in and digs that ball and is rewarded for disciplined defense. Wow, what
I wish
great
we had a
off-blocker.
replay of that to show you. Lovett goes deep and misses.
3-point lead now for the Texas Tyrants, 12-9 here in the third set. LA Blaze is starting to feel that curtain close if they're not able to start to shore up that difference. We're seeing that double sub come in now, which means that we're going to see the return of Cuevas as well as Torres coming onto the court, replacing Serrano and Belvin.
Either next time out or next time Lovett does something cool. I got a little nugget on him, so.
Here's Torres to serve, and he misses short. 12-9. The Tyrants trying to close this out in 3, and Tim Johnson will drop back to serve.
Tim Johnson, someone that struggles with a little bit of consistency on the jump serve, which is understandable when he's up as high as he is. And there's the float serve. I was curious if it was going to come out.
One-on-one, getting the kill is Rafa Cruz.
Cruz having a nice little match for himself here, bringing that lead back to 3, 13-10. The problem is LA Blaze is going to have to find a way to shore up that 3-point difference. Simply trading side outs right now will not get that problem solved for them.
So here's Cruz. And Ryan Mowney again continues to be an unsung hero for this Tyrant squad.
Liz Dennis wears that one with the chest, but unafraid to step in and try to find the touch all the same.
Grasso again. Deep breath and a toss towards the court. Clips the tape. The quick is blocked back, and it's going to be a double on the solo block by Mowney.
Yeah, if you didn't see it, that ball came off the block, hit Negron in the chest, went into the tape, and then he played it out of the net as that is not considered a blocking move. That is a double contact. Great call by our referees.
15-10 is the score here in Game 3 as the Tyrants begin to pull away. They go on the outside, reach out, and stuff someone! Quiones and Ryan Mounty team up to take us to our technical timeout. The Tyrants lead by 6, and they'll look to close it out in a sweep when we return here to the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino.
I would film the Texas fan section. Nice knowing you.
Back here
Mic check,
at
1,
the
2, 3, 4, 5.
Pierce
Mic
Sports
check, 1,
Center
2,
in
3,
San
4, 5.
Bernardino.
Mic
I'm
check,
Ira
mic
Thor.
check.
He's Nick England. He's tired.
Tell me to raise, lower, whatever.
He's played volleyball today. I haven't. Neither has
Mic check, 1,
our
2,
partner,
3. Mic
Noah
check, 1, 2,
Chastity.
3.
He's going to have some good info for you in a moment. Next time we have a break in the action.
Mic check, 1, 2,
But
3,
the
4, 5. Mic
Tyrants
check, 1, 2. Okay.
are pulling away here in this third set. They won the first game 25-15. Dominant first set. They were challenged in the second set 26-24. And then they've refound themselves here in Game 3.
All right, well, the man on the mic on our sideline here with some future insight. Noah, take it away. What do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, I was talking to Austin Lovett and asking him about what he did to kind of get in better shape this season. And he said there's a few things. He took better care of his knees. He was getting lots of reps with the team, and he cleaned up his diet. He stopped eating the McDoubles and the McChickens at McDonald's. That was a big piece. And I definitely believed him, but I had to double check with his parents and the fan club that's over there for the Texas Tyrants. And they said it could be him, but they also attribute a lot of it to his girlfriend, who is also a volleyball player. They do CrossFit together. They met at East London University, where he got second in the nation, and she kind of keeps him in check, and they kind of stay on top of each other to be the best athletes they can be.
See, I figured there had to be a woman involved because I will say I've cut out the McNuggets and the McChickens and the McWhatevers, and it has done nothing for my shape. So there had to be a woman involved.
I was going to say, I think it's a little different process, but all the same, I think we heard it here first. The success of the Texas Tyrants coming on the back of the ladies supporting the Texas Tyrants. And it's kind of a joke, but man, every time we're in this gym, they travel deep, they are loud, and they are rowdy. So it's great to hear, so much support going into such a family-oriented team, and their success is definitely successful. We got one more. Take it away.
Well, yeah, you mentioned those fans, and there is a girlfriend of a player in that group, but the rest of the group are just friends and supporters of the team. They play volleyball themselves. They hang out with this team when they're in Texas, and they just love to watch good volleyball and support their friends, and that's why they're here and they're loud and they're cheering, just because they believe in this Texas team and they love the NVA.
Hey, it's hard not to. Awesome to hear one more time. If you're looking for a way to support your team, you maybe can't make it out to San Bernardino courtside, make sure to check out the NVAUSA.shop. Tons of awesome team gear for all these teams battling it out all weekend long.
Well, you, me, and Matt are all married men, and we know that we couldn't be doing this without the support of our wives. That is a great play there by the Blaze. Belvin nearly threw it down, but credit to Save the Crews to keep this play going. And then it's Lovett who is called into the net, and the Blaze get a break.
Side of the Tyrants calling for 4 contacts. I'm pretty sure I saw that myself. There was a lot of net bouncing around, but I think a lot of us over here at the table are seeing 4 contacts that happen pretty quick. So Not sure how challengeable that is. This is one of those interesting things. I don't think that's actually a challengeable contact. So the Tyrants might just have to let that one unfold, and this is where you see that veteran leadership of Grosso and Langlois come into question. Get their guys settled down. Don't worry about it. You still got a 4-point lead, and while the challenge system is helpful, it doesn't make the game perfect. So got to keep competing and get back into it. But that's going to put Serrano back serving once again.
Still the Tyrants in control. The Blaze need some muster late here if they're going to rally, and it's not going to work if you don't shut down Jake Langlois. But truthfully, how do you possibly shut down Jake Langlois? You can only slow him down. He's 6'10". He's got the most experience of anybody on the court right now outside of Russ Holmes in the NVA. And it's just the rich getting richer here with the Tyrants.
Gabo Quinones now to serve once again.
And Gabo almost gets lost in the sauce. He's a fine setter.
Oh, he does a fantastic job running this offense.
And a good serving job there as the Blaze get handcuffed. That was run down by their libero, was Dennis, and it doesn't matter. Just more adrenaline and aggression.
Grosso just crushes the ball out of the back row, Piper out there. And once again, you got to give the shout out to Gabo Quinones. He keeps blockers guessing. He keeps their eyes crossed, going all sorts of different directions. And sure, he's got a wealth of options to pick from, but does a great job distributing them all the same.
And that is blocked off of Langlois' hands into the antenna, and a side out for the Blaze.
Hernandez.
Langlois with a precise pass, and Tim Johnson cannot connect. He was looking for a touch there and wasn't able to get the high hands.
I got to be honest, looking for hands is my game. Tim Johnson's hitting 1.5 feet higher than I ever do. There's no one else up there, Tim. You either hit the court or you don't. Not a lot of touches going on there.
So the Blaze are hanging tough. It's now 19-15. They continue to not go away quietly. They go to Langlois on the right side, and so well disguised.
Little off-speed float tap over, finds a bounce off the tape. Blaze not ready to defend that one, and Langlois just showing another fun tool sitting in that toolbox.
He's just an artist on the court. Free ball opportunity. Surprised Lovin didn't swing on the first chance, and then Langlois this time well read by Cruz. Wow, Malero laying out for the dig and allows Grosso to swing away, and then Tim Johnson kills people. Did you see how high Johnson got over the net?
I don't have words.
His pecs were over the net. Man, if we could get that back, that replay, we got to see if we have that and add it to the NVA.
Oh, that was as good as it gets.
Tim Johnson with the highlight of all highlights, a pinball free ball, and then we said on the previous play that Lovett had the chance to smash on one. Well, Tim Johnson did not waste the opportunity. He could have decapitated somebody.
Jose Malero getting that layout dig over to the sideline was insane. Followed up by Grosso with a step close swing from the outside, off balance. This team is unrelenting.
Tim Johnson, I am here on the sideline. You cannot see me. I am doing the I'm not worthy arm movements because you, my friend, are so much fun when you can do that.
He is special, that is for sure.
Special is a good word. And again, he's just one of so many pieces for this Tyrant squad with Grosso and Langlois and now apparently Austin Lovett. And of course, cannot forget Ryan Mounty, who so easily to not even say his name because there's so many other options, and this is all because of obviously the defense of Jose Malero, who is showing that it's not the size of the player, it's just not only the athleticism and the volleyball IQ, but just your unrelenting ability out on the court. And Malero is just awesome to watch. And kind of takes the pressure off of Gabo Quiones, quite frankly.
Oh, not just in his execution, but his demeanor. I always talked about it last year, how much he just makes me laugh, that he's one of the most casual liberos. He's a showman while he's perfecting his craft. And he just really makes it easy, not just in execution, but he keeps the rest of the team calm, cool, relaxed, and doing it just at all facets of the game.
And he smiles out there. You could tell he's having fun playing the game. And Malero's not a young player. He turned 30 in October. And obviously he's probably in the final maybe third of his career, based on traditional volleyball careers. And he's still got a lot to give.
Just for clarification and just for the record, I want everyone to hear you say it. So are you saying that 30-year-olds playing the game are old?
I'm saying 30-year-olds playing the game who take care of their bodies and wear very nice arm sleeves still have a lot to go. A lot left in the tank.
Okay. I had to get your official on-record stance.
You're not done yet, Nick.
No, I'm done.
You might feel like you're done. Oh! Reach out and stuff someone! Grasso!
You want to know who's done? Belvin trying to find the angle, and Grasso shuts the door, locks it, and walks away.
And if you're Charles Belvin, what are you going to do? He just shrugs his shoulders like, heck, he got me. Langlois leaves it short, but a one-on-one block from the 6'1" Grasso. 6'1".
Serving substitution coming in. Tyler Padayo coming in here.
MVP thoughts? There's a lot of good picks. He hit 100% in the first two sets. And he might not have another spot.
Grasso nets, and a little exchange under the net, making sure everyone's all good between him and Belvin and Rafa there. Aggressive play, everyone trying to make it happen.
I'm guessing some of the other players might have other opportunities to be match MVP too. So.
Grasso unleashing the fire.
Looks for the same swing that Belvin tried to squeak through on him earlier, but unable to do so. Grasso is a man on fire right now.
Grasso has not had a lot of swings in this match. In fact, that's only his second kill in 3 total swings, because he just hasn't needed to be the one doing the heavy lifting.
Like I said, true 0-2. Pass the ball, let his other guys show it off.
Grasso laying out to save it, and it's sent over by Lovett. He gets back in time to get involved with the blocking game, and the Blaze tip it wide. And 23-17 is your score. Now 24 as that one is not on the court. And the Texas Tyrants dominant. They have 7 match points. And why not give it to Austin Lovett? He's been such a shining star in this one. Well, this one went underneath the net, so all you can do is flex.
I think he owes the broadcast team a drink after that one. Serves under the net is a special achievement in the life of a volleyball player.
I will take mine shaken, not stirred. Thank you. And here's LA Blaze to try to stay alive, but they will not, as Ryan Mounty ends it here 25-18. And the Texas Tyrants, an absolutely dominant debut as they open what appears to be a bright 2022 campaign. 25-15, 26-24, and 25-18. And I mean, Nick, there's so many people you could point to. Austin Lovett, I believe, is going to be our man of the match. But I mean, you look down the line statistically, and everybody did just incredible things. Jake Langlois, certainly his debut for the Tyrants has to be highlighted. Jose Malero, defensively, all the offense doesn't happen without him being the big man. And I say that a little bit tongue-in-cheek defensively because he owns
I'm going this guy. Come here with me. Come here. Walk over here with me.
You can hear the hot mic right there,
the hot
boys.
mic. You can hear the
support coming through.
Trying to get our man of the match, Austin Lovett. We'll talk more about the results of this one, but we'll send it courtside. Austin Lovett, our man of the match, joined alongside our sideline reporter, Noah.
Yeah, I'm here with Austin Lovett. And Austin, outside of that last serve, we don't need to talk about it. You were
that from history.
100% in the first two sets, finished 80%. What was going on today? How were you playing so well?
I think we're just excited to be here, and we're excited to showcase what we've been working on. We've got a great group of guys that have been playing together for 2 years now, and I think it's just clicking. Yeah.
Everyone on your team seemed to be having it going. What's so special about this offense?
I think because everybody is just so deadly. I mean, you pick a player on the court, and they can score, they can block, they can pass, they can do everything. So it's hard for defenses to play against us, pick players out, and we just run with it.
Not every team has a fan club like this watching here and over the live stream. What does it mean to have these fans here?
It's incredible. I mean, I moved from California to Texas, found a great volleyball community, and the fact that we got people traveling all the way out here for these games is incredible. So we love them, we appreciate it, and we hope we can keep producing.
Congrats on the win.
Thanks, man.
See you later. Nick, Ira, send it back to you.
Thank you for that, Noah, and Austin Lovett certainly deserved to be our man of the match. But look at the numbers here as the Tyrants hit 61% on the day. Just up and down the box score, it's absolutely ridiculous. Lovett hit 80%, 8 kills and 10 swings. Forgot about Ryan Mounty, and he was 6 for 8 with 75%. And a match high 17 kills for Jake Langlois, 13 from Tim Johnson, who just got us out of our seats, and then Jose Malero passing an 83%. I mean, the Tyrants right now, it's going to be a scary team.
They're living up to their namesake, that is for sure. And if you want to hear more about those stats, be sure to go check out NVAUSA.com. If I'm not mistaken, those stats are being updated live. It's something new that we've been working on with the team because we believe as a full viewership experience, our fans should know exactly what's going on. So be sure to go check that out. Check us out on all major social media feeds, Instagram, TikTok. We are doing it all because to simply say that you're the best new product coming out in men's professional volleyball, you got to back it up, and that's what we're doing here. We're excited. We're going to take a quick look at tomorrow's schedule. So take a look at the screen right here. We're going to be back, same place, same time at 9 a.m. tomorrow. First match of the day is going to be Team Freedom
debut.
Yep.
In fact, we'll see 4 teams tomorrow, Nick, that did not play today. They had the day off. You play only 2 of the 3 days now in our newly realigned weekend. And New Jersey Freedom, newly renamed, will take on the Seattle Sasquatch. So we'll see a new team versus a team looking for their first ever victory.
After that, got the Dallas Tornadoes taking on the Colorado Kraken, our second newest team. They played today, took the Utah Stingers to 5, showed a lot of new promise, got some of the youngest talent in the league. So they'll be a lot of fun to see, and great to see, like you mentioned, another debut there from the Dallas Tornadoes. After that, we're going to have the Chicago Untouchables LA Blaze. Chicago Untouchables, admittedly, very short-handed because of some travel situation going on. Who you got for the last one at 6 o'clock?
And then the final match today will be Southern Exposure, looking for some redemption after they were defeated by Nick England and company. And they'll be taking on the newly renamed Inland Empire Matadors, who play and practice right here at the Pierce Sports Center. So they are very familiar with this facility. Those are your lineups for day 2 of the opening weekend of the NVA Cup's 3rd season. And, of course, those are all divisional matches. It will be a national coastal matchup at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. It'll be an American Central matchup between the Tornadoes and the Kraken at noon. 3 p.m. it's the Blaze and the Untouchables. That's National Central action. And American Coastal Southern exposure against the Matadors to close out our second day here on the West Coast at 6 p.m. Pacific. Nick, your final thoughts on what's pretty exciting out of Dallas?
Oh, man, I love it. I love being back in the gym. I just seeing how much effort these teams are putting into upgrading rosters. I know we're not there where we're going to be in 1 month's time with all those Event 2 roster spots being filled back up. But the fact that the guys we're seeing out on here on the court are battling it out, ton of great matches, a lot of fun. That's what it's all about. It's just kind of establishing a mainstay that when our volleyball fans want to see what high-level play is all about, they know where to come. NVA USA, we are here to stay. It's been a great one. The challenge system proved to be a critical part of that experience all day long. So definitely looking forward to the impact of that on the rest of the weekend. 8 more matches coming your way.
Well, our special thanks to our entire crew. They stayed with us for almost 11 hours on the air here today in our first broadcast day of the 2022 season. So thank you to our director and our entire crew. For Matt Prosser, who finally got a match off, and Noah Chast and my partner, Sweaty Diesel Nick England, I'm Ira Thor. We'll join you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Be well, everybody.